It's beyond a heart hurt. It's your soul.
I just want justice for my daughter, my only daughter. I just cared so much about. And
This is the story of Halia Willard, 32, of Asheboro, North Carolina, who was robbed and shot while visiting friends at an apartment complex on Snow Lane in Charlotte. She was left lifeless next to a dumpster and later robbed again of her jewelries by some residents even though she had already died. It was all recorded on Facebook Live. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
Police are looking for the person responsible for the death of an Asheboro woman last month in Charlotte.
Based on this crime, we will be traveling to Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is home to the Carolina Panthers of the NFL, the Charlotte Hornets of the NBA, the NASCAR Hall of Fame and the U.S. National Whitewater Center. This southern city features friendly people, delicious food, and charming nature. Halia Michelle Willard was born September 2, 1990. Halia was a student of Eastern Randolph High School from 2004 to 2008, but a 2008 graduate of Carolina Central Community College in Siler City, North Carolina. Halia was a very goal-driven and ambitious young lady. Anything she set her mind to, she accomplished it. Leah was also a self-made serial entrepreneur. She became a licensed hairstylist and esthetician. Fulfilling her academic goals, she had a big vision and later produced her business brand, Lee's Luxuries, that consisted of hair, nails, eyelashes, and fashion apparel. Leah, as her friends and families affectionately called her, impacted so many with her infectious love for others. Halia was loved by so many people. A day before the deadly incident, her mom had a funny feeling about her and called her to check on her.
A phone call nearly 24 hours before on Saturday, perhaps a premonition.
When she answered the phone, I said, "Hey, baby girl, what you doing?" She said, "I'm out eating." And I said, "Well, I don't want to bother you, but I just want to tell you I love you and please be safe out there." And that was the last time I heard from her.
On October 23, 2022, while Halia was meeting with some friends for dinner at an apartment complex on Snow Lane in Charlotte, someone most likely found a way to get to her and demanded her car keys and valuables. She was later shot even after meeting the demands of the perpetrator. She was left dead behind a dumpster where she was found by the residents of the apartment. The weird thing about the discovery was that, immediately the group of men and women saw her, they decided to go on Facebook Live instead of calling the police. They were talking about all sort of thing while they were standing over her body. In the video that can't be put on here, you could hear one man saying, "You do not have to call the police," while several people are heard talking about stealing the gold belt and gold jewelry Halia was wearing. A bystander can be heard saying, "I'm about to get gloves and take her jewelry and belt." Another person is heard discussing taking the gold chain off Halia's wrist.
"I'm going to get some gloves. I'm coming back to get them watches and shit. You got me fucked up. I'm going to get some gloves, man. You chill."
They were heard laughing and giggling in the video before one of them finally was able to call the cops. To no surprise, when police arrived on scene, Halia's jewelry was gone. The shooting and robbery happened on Sunday, October 23, 2022, shortly before 10:30 a.m. in the 7100 block of Snow Lane. As officers arrived at the scene, they found Halia with an apparent gunshot wound in an apartment complex grassy area. She was pronounced dead at the scene.
Police are looking for the person responsible for the death of an Asheboro woman last month in Charlotte. WFMY News 2's Avery Powell spoke with her parents about their daughter's life and the search for her killer.
It's beyond a heart hurt. It's your soul.
Mary and Craig McMasters are in pain, and they want an answer. Who killed their daughter Aaliyah in Charlotte on October 23rd?
I just want justice for my daughter, my only daughter. I just cared so much about, and I just want justice for her.
Her parents say the 32-year-old from Asheboro was in Charlotte having dinner. Mary talked to her that night.
I said, "Well, I'm not going to hold you long." I said, "I just want to tell you I love you and please be safe."
She'd be shot and killed hours later. The McMasters speaking to us at Paul Henry Smith Park in Liberty, a place familiar to their family.
This is where Aaliyah grew up at, playing with other children, some of her best friends. She loved softball, so the field over there is the little softball field that she would also come and play softball at.
Her parents say Aaliyah was full of life.
Aaliyah was funny. She loved to laugh. She was very, very creative. I mean, anything she put her hand to, she could do it. She could write poetry, she could draw.
Her parents hope whoever is responsible turns themselves in and repents.
But I want them to know that Leah had a heart for people, and she was a free spirit. And I know if she could look at the person that did this to her, she would say the same thing. I want you to be saved. I want your life changed. Even if they're behind bars for the rest of their lives, God can still use them.
Her jewelry and her Mercedes-Benz C250 had been stolen.
Police say her car was taken during her murder. They are looking for a Mercedes-Benz C250 with North Carolina license plate number TJV 4843.
Car is missing and items she has missing and things was stolen off her body. Videos was on Facebook of her lying there.
The case remained almost a mystery. Except for her car and jewelry missing, there was nothing to go with. This made the cops believe it was most likely robbery. Catching the killer was now the prime concern of the cops. Her parents were devastated and was looking forward to the killer being apprehended sooner than later.
She was the life of the house, the life of the party.
A cheerful spirit now gone, says mom Mary McMasters. The pain, the hurt, after her daughter Aaliyah Willard was found dead in East Charlotte.
Sunday was horrible for me. Getting the news, I was just leaving church, and I was hysterical because I couldn't believe that somebody had murdered my baby girl. My only daughter.
McMasters says she's watched a viral video of her daughter multiple times. When asked why, she told me she wanted to see if whoever murdered her daughter cared enough about her, even in death.
I wanted to see if they had just an inkling of compassion when they laid her down on that ground.
The McMasters remained anchored in their faith, now hoping someone comes forward.
I would say to somebody, if you know anything that can help bring whoever did this to my baby girl Aaliyah to justice, please call the police department.
The police released surveillance photos of a black Mercedes-Benz C250 that is believed to be connected to Willard's killing. Not too long after this, Tyquan Parker, 27, was arrested by the Guilford County Sheriff's Office on outstanding warrants for murder, robbery with a dangerous weapon and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon in connection with the shooting death of Aaliyah Willard.
For the family of this woman who was shot and killed while visiting friends in Charlotte, police just arrested a man for Aaliyah Willard's murder.
And investigators say 27-year-old Tyquan Park, now on your screen, killed Aaliyah. This happening at an apartment off Snow Lane. He now faces a handful of charges. WBTV's Ron Lee joins us live, walking us through those charges. So Ron, you spoke with Aaliyah's family, who called this arrest victorious.
Aaliyah Willard's mother tells me exclusively that the family is very relieved that there is a man in custody and behind bars tonight in this case. But she says police simply are not telling her a whole lot about what happened, and she just wants some answers.
It seemed like it took forever for her to tell me what was going on.
Mary McMasters remembers the day she got the news no mother should ever hear. She would never see her daughter again.
She told me that she had been murdered. I collapsed.
32-year-old Aaliyah Willard was found with a single gunshot wound in an apartment complex off Snow Lane last month. Her mother says she was stopping by to see friends and is at a loss to who the suspect is.
I don't know anything about him at all. Never seen him, never heard of him, nothing.
27-year-old Tyquan Parker has been charged in the case in Guilford County. He sits tonight in a Mecklenburg County cell. According to information we obtained from the jail website, Parker is facing serious charges, including robbery with a dangerous weapon, possession of a firearm by a felon, as well as the murder. McMasters is thankful a suspect is behind bars.
But it was such a relief for us to know that they have arrested him.
Police aren't saying what may have led up to the shooting or if Willard was the intended target. Her mother says the last phone call that night with her daughter was a haunting one.
I said, I just want you to know I love you and please be safe.
While Aaliyah Willard may be gone, her family is rejoicing in the memories of the life she led.
She was just a life giver. She loved life to the fullest.
And while McMaster still grieves over the loss of her daughter, she has no intention of holding a grudge against the suspect.
I've already forgiven him from day one, because I had a talk with God, and that's what he told me I was gonna have to do.
Now McMasters tells me even though she lives up in Raleigh, nearly 3 hours away, she is planning on being in the courtroom every single day that the suspect is facing down a judge to make sure that her daughter is well represented.
Investigators said the suspect stole Willard's Mercedes-Benz after she was killed during an armed robbery. Parker was arrested through a joint investigation that included Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police, Greensboro Police, and Guilford County deputies. Our sincere condolences to the friends and family of Halia Willard. May Halia's memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her, and may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for gun violence survivors. Please stay safe and see you guys in the next video.